Hello and welcome to week 13. We're back in the office after a couple of out and about trips, and we've got some very interesting games to discuss with you this week. We're going to hit the mailbag. We're going to do all sorts of fun stuff in this little snippet here. But let's get it off right now with college picks. Now, this is one of my favorite weekends of the year because it's all the conference championship games. Ooh, it's just fun. It's like an extra Christmas present on Sunday morning if Christmas was on Saturday. You know what I mean? Like that extra kick in the tats. Okay, so we're going to go with our picks. And as soon as we find those picks, up here they are. Okay, we've got 6 delicious college games for you this week. And, we didn't do too good last week. As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to repeat our record from last week. But it wasn't good. And those of you out there have been taking our advice. All I got to say is stay the course, because we know what we're doing. And eventually we're going to get to a point where everybody is going to be experiencing copious amounts of joy based on what we're saying in these videos. So let's hit it off right first. We've got 3 regular games in the NCAAs and 3 conference championship games. The first game on the docket is tonight, actually, starting in about 3 hours. If you want to join us down at Crazy Jaws, we'll be doing signing and interviews and things like that at Crazy Jaws on Waukegan Road in Morton Grove. Kickoff is at 6 o'clock for tonight's MAC title game, Mid-American Conference, between the West and East Division winners, the Northern Illinois Huskies and the Ohio Bobcats. Northern has given up 3.5. I like Northern, after a tight contest last week, to find their offensive groove and kick the Bobcats all over the Ford Field. Northern minus 3.5. Second game is UConn at Cincinnati. Little Big East tilt. UConn getting 9 points here, and I just think that's way too many points. About a month ago, we had a Cincinnati Bearcat game that they were playing Pittsburgh, and they were favored by too much. We took Pittsburgh, and that ended up pretty good. We're going to do the same thing here because the Cincinnati Bearcats are still, even though they're on the verge of a BCS game with this win, still really not a proven team in my book. So take UConn at Cincinnati, plus the 9 points that they're getting. Thirdly, we've got the Texas Christian Horned Frogs, TCU, against UNLV, one of the worst teams in Division I college football. This is a huge spread, but I like TCU to mop the floor with the UNLV Running Rebels. Football program should be ended. TCU minus 38. Take it to the bank. Baylor against Texas. Baylor's been a little bit of a surprise. Texas has been bad. And I think this continues. They're at Baylor. Baylor only giving up 2.5. I like Baylor minus the 2.5. Now we got the Conference USA title game, a team that we've been all over all year long. The Houston Cougars. They're playing Southern Miss, Brett Favre's old school. Great. Houston giving up 14 in this Conference USA title game. Now, that is not a lot of points for Houston in this offense. Southern Miss, they've been ranked at different points in the year, but a couple weeks ago, they showed me who they really were when they dropped the game to UAB. You take Houston here, you give up the 14 points, you're going to thank me for that later. And last but not least, we got the Big Ten title game, the rematch of the Hail Mary game from about a month and a half ago. The Wisconsin Badgers against the Michigan State Spartans. Wisconsin giving up 9.5, and you absolutely have to go with the Wisconsin Badgers. The revenge factor is going to come into play in this game. Wisconsin is 2 Hail Marys away from playing for a national title right now. You don't think they're going to be pissed off about that? I'm sorry. The Spartans and their smoke and mirrors and their somewhat good defense are going down in this game. Wisconsin minus 9.5, and I've never been more sure of anything. Maybe I shouldn't go that far, but I like Wisconsin minus 9.5. Okay, now we're going to go on to the pro games. And the first pro game on the docket, we've got, we're going to do 6 games here, I think. 6 games. The first one, we've got the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Cincinnati Bengals are getting 7.5. I definitely like the Cincinnati Bengals to cover in this one. Pittsburgh will probably win the game, but Cincinnati in one game against Baltimore and one game against Pittsburgh already has proven that they may not be there yet, but they're close enough to stay close with these top division-leading teams in that AFC North. Take the Cincinnati Bengals plus the 7.5. The second game is we've got Denver at Minnesota. Now, this game is a pick'em based on my line. Minnesota actually giving up half a point. This is an interesting game because normally somebody would say on paper the Vikings have got 2 wins, the Denver Broncos have got 6. But then again, I don't really see that Minnesota's defensive front is all that bad. They've got a really bad secondary, but if you have any quarterback in the National Football League that's not going to be able to take advantage of a bad secondary, it's Tim Tebow. So I like the Minnesota Vikings in this one. I like them straight up to half a point. It's pretty much a pick 'em anyway. Go with the Vikings. They're going to surprise Tim Tebow and his run-and-shoot college crap option offense, whatever the heck it is. Third game, we got the Chicago Bears at home against the Kansas City Chiefs. And it does not matter who starts at quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chicago Bears are a much better team. They're favored by 8.5. They're going to win this game by at least 2 touchdowns, and everything's going to be right in Chicago. Take the Bears minus the 8.5. Okay, moving on. We've got Miami. Actually, we're not going to do that game. We don't like that game. We're going to do New England here. New England favored by 20.5 versus the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I believe this spread has gone down. The opening line was 20. I think it's down to 19 maybe in some factions now. This is a no-brainer. The Indianapolis Colts are starting Dan Orlovsky, a guy that was part of the Detroit Lions 0-16 team, had some starts on that team. It's going to be more of the same. The Patriots offense is running on all cylinders right now. I think 28 points wouldn't be enough. I like New England minus the 20.5. Now, coming up next, we've got San Francisco hosting the St. Louis Rams. Now, this is a pretty big spread, too. This is 13.5 points, but the Rams are not a good team. I like San Francisco minus the 13.5 at home. They get enough done with defense, and Sam Bradford is once again a game-time decision. I like that for absolutely sure. That leaves us our last game, which is going to be Dallas at Arizona. And hello. Yeah, I'm doing my picks. I told you. What do you want from me? I'm on the air right now. You're gonna ruin me. You're gonna ruin me. I'm ruined. I'm ruined. We're gonna edit out. We're gonna edit that out later, right? Yeah. Okay, so Arizona at home against Dallas. Arizona getting 4.5. And I actually like the Arizona Cardinals in this one. If you look at their record, they've lost 7 games, but they've covered in 5 of them. And the 2 that they didn't cover in, they were playing teams that are a lot better than this Dallas Cowboys team, which is not as good as their 7-4 record. I like Arizona plus the 4.5. Dallas probably wins the game by a field goal, but I do like Arizona plus the 4.5. And as my bonus pick, here's a little bonus advice. San Diego versus Jacksonville on Monday night. Do not watch the game. Do not wager on the game. Do not convince anyone involved with that game that they have any right putting that game on television or making it your privilege to watch such a pile of garbage. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, oh, wait, we almost forgot. Had a couple of letters we were going to read here. So why don't we do that real quick here? And again, this is from the local78@yahoo.com. Go ahead and email me, send me comments, invite me to your wedding, whatever you need to do, whatever you feel good about. And again, don't forget, we'll be at Crazy Jaws tonight on Waukegan Road in Morton Grove. If you want to come get an autograph or get a picture taken with your wife or something, we can take care of it. First question comes from Stan in Jackson, Mississippi. Stan asks, if the Doobie Brothers were all professional athletes, which one would you want on your football team? It's a great question. And I haven't had a lot of time to think about it. I just pulled this one off the internet earlier this morning. But I would have to go with Jeff the Skunk Baxter because if he's got that mustache going on, it's going to be confusing a lot of people. It's going to be mesmerizing a lot of people. I see him as a defensive back causing wide receivers to run the wrong routes because they're staring at his soup strainer. So I like Jeff the Skunk Baxter, also of Steely Dan, for the answer to this question. And then the second question, my producers say we're running out of time here. Knots Landing is coming up next, so we got to get going. Cheech from Piatone quickly says, how'd that Northern pick work out for you last week? Well, Cheech, it didn't work out too good. If you're a genius, which is assuming that you are, you know that I gave up too many points. Northern won 18-12, and I didn't cover the bet. But I appreciate the salt that was so gently placed in the wound. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching Week 16. We'll see you again next week. Happy everything.